Right, good evening everyone. Can you hear me all? That seems to be a good start. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Didn't realise the time. Um, so yeah, basically just a little bit of layout chat for you this evening. Big moment actually. I've managed to get the loop. The loop end of the layout is working. It's not quite working how I'm hoping it to work, or how I was hoping it would work. Sadly, I have to do a modification to the DigiKeys DR4018. Let me just turn the fan off a second, so you can hear me better. Hey Toby, nice to hear you in, mate. Just chatting about the loop end of the layout. What I'll do is I'll quickly bring up a picture of that to show some people. What I'll do is I'll have to rub it off Facebook actually. So yep, I will go here. And at the same token as well, what I'll also do is I'll also advertise the fact that I do actually have a page for this layout. So what I'll do is I'll drop the link to the layout page in the comments there as well. So if you're not on it already, feel free to like the page and follow my progress with it so far. The station that we can currently see in view, sadly that's not progressed much further. One of those really annoying things of you get a load of packing in and think, you know, that would be great for the platform, and then you basically don't see that packing ever again. So at the moment the platform is currently held up by odd-sized bits of packing, just to sort of give the impression of the platform anyway. But fingers crossed, I'll get some more of that packaging in soon, and I can continue finishing on that end, this end of the layout. Bit more ballast has gone down. Need to do a bit of work on this inside edge here that you can see. It's a little bit too light for my liking, so I'll be going over it with some washes to basically dull that down, and fingers crossed we'll get it matching the same. Rather annoyingly, I haven't posted a picture. I've got a little demo of the layout, but anyway. So yeah, if you've got any questions, Toby, by all means feel free to ask me some questions. I know you've got lots of questions about your new layout and your Traintech system. We'll get onto that another time. So yeah, what I'll do is, I know you're watching, Toby, so I'll just take you on a little tour of the layout. So this is the station section. This is basically the part that's in front of me there. You can just see my hand sweeping back and forth there. So that's showing roughly where I'm sat, and where the layout sort of proximity is there. If I then take you across to the other side of the layout, so this is basically in the back corner here. That's the main junction. That's when lots of stuff happens. Admittedly, the coaling toweler is currently sat in the wrong place, but yeah, that gives you a slight illusion of it as well. I then have the shed cam. When it loads, give me a second. There you go. So Thomas is currently moonlighting in the shed. He's a bit out of scale though. But yeah, what this basically does is this is the shed section, and then the single road that you can see disappearing off to the top right of the screen. That's basically the section that runs off to the far end of the layout, which is behind that curtain. And yep, you can go down there, and that's basically the loop. So love the back scene. The back scene is actually ID back scene. It's one of their premium ones. Admittedly, I did start with a paper one to start with. Very quickly found I didn't like it. So what I've done is I've basically installed the ID back scene premium ones. So they're self-adhesive, and I'll go back to that one for you, Toby. Yeah, they're self-adhesive, and then because it's all brick wall in here, like that there, sorry. And what you can basically do is I use the lining paper. So you go to a DIY store or something like this. Actually, I might have some down here. There you go. So what I've done is you can get this lining paper. It's quite thick. and I've basically backed the wall with that before I've then gone over with the ID back scene. So it smooths out the brickwork and gives the ID back scene something decent to adhere to. This roll's obviously been cut down, it's a bit longer than that normally. But yeah, ideal. Still got this left to basically do down that end of the layout as well, which the original paper ones that I did buy, they will be used down the far end, as the far end doesn't get seen that often. So yeah, sorry, a bit flustered, bit of a rush. Actually got my dinner sat next to me. Not had a chance to eat it yet. Excuse me, that was really rude. But yeah, bit of a mad rush this evening. Day's been really nice. Took Jenna, my beloved fiance, took her out to the cinema to go and see the original Railway Children. They decided to show it for one time today, so I took Jenna to go and see that today in preparation for the new one, which is coming out. I think it's either the middle of this month or middle of next month. I can't remember now. But it's quite cool because the original character that played Bobby, she's actually returned. Sorry, the original actor. Sorry, that played Bobby in the first one. She's actually returning in this second one, so that'll be quite interesting to see as well. The layout is loosely based. Oh dear, that's a bad idea to have that on at the same time. The layout is basically just a nice little country kind of layout, nothing too crazy. I try and set it to the North Midlands, mainly because I like all the stone buildings. So for instance, if I go back to my station building, you'll see a lot of the buildings are stonework. There's the Ratio good shed just down in the corner there. And all the actual platform edgings all stone dressed, and all the buildings are stone as well. Starting to think maybe the yellow might be confusing you a little bit, but there is maroon on there to indicate Midlands, I hope. But yeah, it's basically just, it's a case of, I've had exhibition layouts in the past. I've had Halland, I've got Byway, Amworth, which is one that I've acquired off the chap who, off a chap called Ron North. Me and him basically built Halland and Byway together, and he had the third layout, Amworth, which he didn't have a home for, so I decided that I would gracefully take that one off his hands. It's a bit GWR, so I've got a little bit of fettling to do and a lot of wiring to do as well to make it all DCC worthy. But yeah, I'll get round to that eventually. But the idea with this layout, Toby, was it was quite simply, I've never had a home layout. Of all the time I've lived on my own, you know, I've lived out of home now since I was my early teens. I say early teens, like my 16, 17 years old, I was out of home, renting places, but I've never had a home layout. So I started watching Ollie from Wardle Road. Don't know if he's watching, but if you are, shout out to you, Ollie. And I started noticing he was doing streams, and I kind of enjoyed them, so I thought, well, maybe it'd be fun for me to do the same. And at the same token, I thought, well, actually, I could build myself a layout here and have it above my desk. So it's 1.4 meters off the ground, so I'm sat at my desk, my screens are in front of me here, and then basically the layout is just above here. You can just see that's my hand running along the bottom of the actual edge of the layout. Or you can just see the edge of the layout just there, actually. But yeah, everything's basically suspended and floating off the wall there. So if I move out the way there, you can see the freezer and the tumble dryer in the back corner there, and you can see the layout is suspended above the ground. There's no physical connection to the ground, there's no physical connection to the roof. It's all just literally suspended off the wall with timbers. The framework is built very, very strong, as I've basically proven in a lot of my recent posts, recent videos, pictures, etc. one of which I shall bring on screen now. So yeah, the timber frame is built quite strong. If it can support me and hold me up, I'm pretty sure it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, this is the off section for the actual loop itself. So the loop is basically comes off that section of wood, that section of board, and basically there is a singular leg just at the far end of the loop, just to give that a bit more support in the middle of the garage itself. The handy thing is when I've also built the layout as well. Why can't I skip? Oh, that's typical. When I've built, you can see the supported leg just there. Actually, I don't know if you can see my mouse wobbling around there. Yeah, this particular section in the back corner here. Again, I don't know how well you can see my mouse, but it's the corner nearest the garage door. The garage door is the silver foam there. But that section lifts out, so I can then open the garage door to get various things out. So yeah, I'll skip back to this. I'll sort of show you a little bit more. I don't know why, for some reason, I haven't posted any pictures of the progress of the layout down the far end, which is annoying because it's all on my phone. So let me just skip off that a minute. This is actually a view of the station there, so there's a camera just tucked in this corner up here. There. And the idea of that is to basically show it off. The Deltic you can see in front of you is one of the new Accurascale Deltics. I originally had one of the Bachmann ones, which was sound fitted. I really like the sound of the Bachmann Deltic, so I've taken that chip out of that one, and it's gone into this Accurascale one. So the Bachmann Deltic is for sale, non-sound though, because I've robbed the sound decoder out for that one. But yeah, what I shall quickly do is I shall quickly go and post some images. So talk amongst yourself. You know, add some questions in the chat box there. We'll see how many people we've got watching, because I have no idea. Oh, 4 apparently. Okay. Yeah. So let me just go back to the page a minute. Really always find that no matter how much prep work you do for these kind of things, you always end up skipping back on to change various things or add various things in this case. So hopefully, all being well, that comes up on screen. Get rid of that. Oh, yeah, put that down. Yeah, so hopefully, all being well, if I go back to the Westmoreland page and I refresh it, there we go. Right, so it's a bit of a work in progress, so it's not particularly tidy. Do excuse me for that. But yeah, this is basically the loop down the far end.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
What? Go away.
Okay.
The iPad's just decided to start talking to me. Okay. Right, yeah, so this is the loop down the far end. So this is the bit of the track that you don't see. As you can see, it's a reverse loop, and there is a passing loop in the middle of that reverse loop. And currently where you can see the drill, the light, screwdrivers, pliers and all that sort of stuff, there is going to be 3 little sidings. There is, just in the middle here, a section of board that's missing from there. Basically, when I was doing this back piece, it was quite a long stretch, so I thought, well, if I just take out 5 screws for that board there, it gave me a bit more access through this little hatch here. I did try to squeeze up between that section with that board in place, and the only thing I can really describe to you was all I had was a hyena laughing at me whilst I was shouting at her saying, can you please get a screwdriver, this is very uncomfortable. Yeah, so possibly a little bit too big for that particular section that I was trying to squeeze through. But she did give me the screwdriver, which is currently in view there. And yeah, I managed to unscrew that section of board and free myself. So yeah, quite entertaining. Want to picture something like a cork, want to picture like a cork in a cork bottle in a bottle or something like that. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It was very uncomfortable. Toby asks, will you be running much pre-grouping stock? I tend to model late BR, late BR steam, a bit of the early green diesels. It depends what really takes my fancy. I kind of, with this particular layout, I kind of do the basis of rule number 1. It's my layout. I'll run what I want. Now, yeah, sometimes that's loosely fitted. I'm going through a bit of a diesel phase at the moment, actually. I've seen a nice 10,000 on Facebook, which I'm trying to acquire. The guy's not come back to me, actually, which is a little bit annoying, because I would like a LMS 10,000, but we'll see what happens there. And yeah, of course, that will go through the works and have all the jazz that I normally do to all my locos. Yeah, so that's the far end of the layout at the moment. As I say, there is a DR 5013 connected down the far end. The reason I've used the 5013 is because it will use sensor sections on the track, and it will report back via LocoNet to the DR Central, the DR 5000, the Digi Central, excuse me. And what that will allow me to do is that will allow me to automatically change points. Now, the far end point, go away. The far end point is number 100, and every other point in that vicinity is also labelled 100, 101, 102, etc. The idea for that being that there will be a DR4018 with lots of MP1s down that end, and that will control that whole section. The other reason for doing its own sort of section where it's got its own point control is I've also linked 100 and point 1 together. Now point 1 is the exit point. The idea for that is that when I change, so here's the layout, when the sections come live to basically say change this point, what it will also do is it will also change this point. So if I demonstrate, so yeah, basically you can change both turnouts together. You can also hear it gives me a little bell code, and points changing, etc. So yeah, that's the idea of it all anyway. Fingers crossed it works. This software is JMRI. It's a bit crude. There are better softwares out there, but I like it. I use it quite often. I have dabbled a little bit with Rockrail, to not much success, if I'm being completely honest. But we'll see how we get on with this as it progresses, and go from there. So yeah, Toby, as I was saying to you, if you want to do automation to the level you want to do, I really would stress to try and look at some sort of computer software. But that's up to you, mate. We'll persevere and see if we can get it all working with ABC and relays, etc. It'll be a challenge, if nothing else. So, yep. How's everyone doing today? What has everyone been doing? Let me know in the comments what you've been up to. Maybe, send some pictures through to me on the page, and we can go from there. So, yeah. What we can do is we can skip back. Me and computers don't mix. Funny. I never got that impression at all, Toby. So yeah, I mean, what we can do is we can run a few trains. Should be entertaining, watching me trying to run trains whilst chatting to you. It has gone wrong many a time before, So if anything, you know, at least you'll all get a kick out of this. But yeah, what we can basically do is we can run the Deltic around a little bit. Good evening, Ollie. We were just talking about you. I was saying to Toby, who's in the chat as well, about how this layout came to be and how I came to sort of come into this whole setup with cameras, etc. And I blamed you. So yeah, I've never had a home layout before, and watching you inspired me to build my own in the garage here. And then at the same token, I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to actually have some cameras dotted around so I could do live streams as well, and also try and do some video logs, time lapses as me building stuff. Admittedly, though, I haven't really got into the whole time lapse thing. I find it really annoying because by the time I get in here and do the work, it's a case of I then go, I've not put the cameras on. So yeah, eventually I will set up a camera down that far end there with a loop. So you will be able to see the loop at the far end. Yeah, you should be sorry, Ollie. You've only got me to compete with now. So yeah, I'm sure I'm such a competition to you with your live streams. But anyway, we've all got to start somewhere. I was just showing on the screen there. This is the section of track now. So this gives you a general overview of the layout. This particular section here, oops, I'm on the wrong screen. This particular section here, I'll wave the mouse around so you can get an idea. That will be the MPD, but I haven't really got round to that yet. Mainly because I've been concentrating on this far section here, the loop, because it's so much cooler to be able to run a train off in the distance and for it to come back. So fingers crossed. This is exactly what happened. Cameras are good to see what's going on the layout anyway. Yeah, I know, I'm particularly boring. I'm particularly boring to watch actually, so I think you'd all much prefer to watch a layout as opposed to me. But yeah, so I'll put the Facebook post back up. So that's basically showing the far end of the layout if you've not seen it already. So this is in my garage, and basically what I've done is I've built it off the wall. Built it particularly strong as well. So yeah, from word get-go, there's quite a few builds. Yeah, if it's strong enough to support me, I think it's strong enough to stand a few model trains running across it. But yeah, that was the early start. That was the early days of the build, and then it basically progressed on from there. A few more little added struts in there to basically reinforce everything. I do use one singular leg just on the offset there. Don't know how necessary it is, but I'm not really going to try and find out to see if this would actually stay up on its own. The idea of that whole lot there floating kind of scares me a little, as I'm sure it does most of you. So yeah, we'll skip back. Oh no, wrong way. We'll skip back. So, excuse me. So yeah, that was again the early sort of stages where we could see what I was trying to aim for there. I mean, all well and good so far. I mean, it's come out well so far. The underlay that you can see there is actually Armorflex. So I'm a big fan of closed cell foam, as opposed to the old Pico foam that rots and deteriorates and crimples up into a little ball. So yeah, what you can do is you can basically go online and you can buy this stuff called Armorflex. It's like pipe lagging, and it's self-adhesive, and then basically you can cut it up the middle, and basically, oh, actually, I've just realised. Actually, I can put myself back in the corner there. Cool. Yeah, you can basically cut yourself up the middle of the foam, and then basically you can then curve it around easily. Or if you're just doing a sort of straight with a little bend, it does have enough give that it flexes about a little bit. But the Armorflex is really nice because what I've found with it is it's wide enough that when you basically do your track and then you do your ballast over the top of it, you've still got that nice cushion because a lot of people argue about the fact that putting underlay down and then you ballast it, of course all the glue sets solid and then it doesn't move. Well, so far I've managed to do this in a way that I've kept the two pieces separate. So I've got a shoulder that goes down first and that's then glued into place, and then I can go over the top of it with a little bit of glue, trying to keep the separation with a little piece of card. The idea of that being that basically it's not going to glue everything solid in place, so I do get the decent sound deadening out of the Armaflex stuff. In actual fact, I do have a little piece of board here that I can basically hold up to the camera, just to show my sort of test example. So, you know, the ballast itself, you can see, goes right up to the edge there, and you can basically sprinkle over the sides of it, and then it's got a little bit of grass and turf and dirt, that kind of thing, like scatter down the side. But of course the track is spongy, so I haven't lost anything. I haven't lost any of the decent sound deadening side of it. Yeah, nice little ornamental piece of track. Small section of board that basically didn't need to be there anymore on the layout, so I cut it out. But never mind. It serves as a good demo piece for the layout now anyway. So yeah. Yeah, so going back to what everyone's been doing, what have you all been doing today? For instance, I've been to the cinema. I've gone to see the original 1970s Railway Children with Jenna. That's obviously in prep for the new Railway Children that's coming out. Can't remember if it's this month or next month now, but look forward to seeing that. And I've also found out today as well that the original cast member, Bobby, I cannot remember her name, but the actress, excuse me, that played Bobby, is coming back to play a character in the new one. So quite excited to see that and see how things go on. So yeah, we'll skip forward a little bit. So yeah, that's currently the stage we're at the moment. But yeah, so without further ado, let's see if we can run a train. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what, let's go to that one instead, and we can all watch it depart. Dun 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 dun. Or watch John muck up. It's probably the best way to explain it. So at least I can do the signal correct anyway. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll leave the sound off because it's... I say we'll leave the sound off, but... not entirely sure. But yeah, at least we can run some trains off into the distance. Now, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but the Akura Scale Deltics do seem to be a little bit on the jerky side at low speeds. I'm still playing around with some settings for the motor on the lock sound, and yeah, all being well, we should hopefully be able to get that running nice and smoothly. It'll be a little bit annoying if I can't get it running smoothly, you know, because the original Batman Deltic that I had was lovely and smooth. But yeah, I mean, all in all, the sound on the... oh dear, it looks like I've left a coach behind. I have. Told you, you can all watch me... told you can all watch me mess up. Shh! I would say you didn't see it, but it's captured for the whole world to see, so yeah, there you go. I've hand of God. Nice stuff, but anyway. So yeah, we'll cut to this camera. You can watch it come round by the junction here. All being well, what should happen as well is it should stop. He says that and he speeds it up, but anyway. So that should basically come to a stop in this section here because the point is against it. So this is ABC, Toby. So with the point against it, the loco is now stopped. This is pretty much the principle that we're going to try with your layout, where the ABC is live until there is basically a clear signal ahead of it. So I haven't tried the hump couplings yet, no. I can't for the life of me remember his name. Yes, I can, Chris, because I've got his card here. He did speak to me a while ago. He's sent me lots of toys and goodies and stuff for the layout, which is really nice of him. I wasn't expecting any of that, but yep. Hey Flymo, didn't know you were watching. Doing the washing, making space for boards, and running locos. Good evening, Flymo. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're well. The washing, that's probably something I've got to do afterwards because I ran that late that I've had to bring my tea in with me, and I'm doing fantastic at eating it. I'm sure you can tell. Pepperoni pizza, if anybody's asking. Consequently, followed the beverage of choices this evening is just some summer fruits. Not a big drink person, to be honest, but there we go. So yeah, anyway, Hunt Couplings, going back to that. No, I haven't tried them yet. Little bit skeptical because I don't like the idea of magnets pulling stock and stuff together. Plus, I can't really see any ideal way to disconnect them or to uncouple them, should I say. The problem I have there is I've got an uncoupling ramp, one of these Pico ones, that basically sits in the station and that basically springs up as the stock runs over it. So that's the idea for the couplings. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly upgrade these and use servos so they come up when I want them to come up, as opposed to springing up when my train's departing and causing my train to disconnect halfway through. Anyway, so if I skip to this one here, this signal that you can see in front that is currently red is currently not operational. We'll get round to it, but it'll probably happen when the MPD happens. So you've just ordered the P-Way trolleys from West Hills. Looking forward to painting them. Yep. The ones that I'm actually toying with getting at the moment are the Western bogies. It's completely wrong for my layout, but as some of you know, I had the 5-inch gauge Western, so I do have a 00 gauge Western Druid, which is all sound, EM2 and SP55 by 20 by 10. It is so stupidly loud though. I've got to try and figure out a way of maybe toning it down a bit. I've also changed the cab lights, which are horribly mounted in the top there, and I've moved them to the correct place on the actual bulkhead itself, so there's 2 lights in there as well. But yeah, I'm toying with the idea of getting some of the bogies for these particular models, mainly because I think it would be really cool just to paint them up and see the detail, because the level of detail I've seen from them. Mark Wilson posted some pictures of his ones that he's done, and they just look great. So yeah, for no other reason than that, I will go and get some. Use Wardle Draw 10 for 10% discount. Thank you, Ollie. Appreciate that. To be honest, I mean, Chris, I saw Chris at the Stapfold Barn show, actually, and I had a good chat with him. And it was really funny, actually, because I sort of mentioned something to him about the Hunt couplers for the 009, because I am quite curious to try these. So, yeah. But, yeah, I ended up just coming away with a bag full of goodies. So, yeah, it was quite interesting. Really nice to meet them. I have ordered some more stuff since. I've ordered things like the air compressors. I've got the water standoff pipes there. I bought some of their cable tidies as well, the little orange cable hooks that basically you can screw up under the layout. And I used a couple of them actually down the far end, actually, so that's quite interesting. Really quite cool, actually. I like the fact that there's plenty of room for adding more cables. I mean, I don't really understand where I'm going to find those more cables, if I'm honest, because I only really need 2 or 4 in this case down the far end for the loop section. But yeah, I checked the notifications and saw I'd missed about 4 live streams. I hope Alan got a few folks in.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
The iPad's talking to me again, so I'm guessing Jenna's turned something on this, which is annoying because I don't know how to turn it off, because I'm not an Apple person at all. So there we go. Going back to what you were saying, Flymo, I don't know who Alan is. I thought he was going out about 7 PM. Well, I'm on at 7 PM, so thank you for joining me. I usually do 7 PM on a Sunday anyway, so again, thank you for coming in and joining me instead of Alan. I don't know who Alan is, but there we go. Regards, Johnny Ward, thanks for watching, mate. They're brilliant for fixed rakes. Use them for 80s Midland mainline sets. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, for sets like that, I mean, my coaching sets, for instance, they generally stay together. So maybe that might be a solution for my phantom uncoupling in the middle of a train, because what you've missed is me running this Deltic out of the station, and then these little annoying Pico springy ramps basically uncoupling my train halfway along, and annoyingly it didn't notice until the train was halfway round the layout. So I've, dare I say, hand of God, shunted the wagon through to couple up to the back of the train. But anyway, what I should do is, because I've been trying to send this train out for a while now, but I'll get into a little ramble, and nobody wants to hear me talking. Well, I say that though, and you're all here watching me, so I must be doing something right. But anyway, so if I change the point, what should happen is it will get a couple of seconds, the loco will disappear off into the distance. I have no idea. The point is currently set to a spring. Is it Siri? Yeah, Siri is trying to... No, don't do that. No, shut up. No, I said her name and she's trying to talk to me. But yeah, so that'll go off into the distance, and all being well, I say all being well, it should come back, I hope. If it doesn't, you'll see me disappear through that curtain to basically go and try and find it, and find out what the heck's going on. And of course, if I do hear a little click or a beep, then I know it's going horribly wrong. So yeah, I'll just change that point back so it comes in on the right track. Looks like one of my temporary bridge edges have fallen down from the look of that screen, but there we go. So J. Clough Allen. Oh, I think I've heard of him before, J. Clough Allen. So there we go. Go. I'll go out and come back in. Okay, that's interesting. Hemel Down Model Railway. Thanks for joining us this evening. Do say hi to everyone in the chat. Yeah, we're currently sat in anticipation, waiting for an Akira Scale Deltic to reappear on the layout. Can't hear it yet. It is the block detection on the other screen in front of me is reporting that it's in the loop, so that's a good sign. It's now, the loop has turned off, so it now should be on its way back to us. So all being well, in about sort of 20 to 30 seconds, we should hopefully see it appear back on the screen in the top, well, I say the top, it's the top middle of the screen. And it should, all being well, again, come down the right hand track there for the up and the down line, and then what we'll do is we'll cut back to the station cam, and it should sit there and wait at the point, and wait for me to basically then let it back in to the station, and then we shall perform what could be some very interesting shunting, because if I'm talking to you guys and trying to do this all, something is going to go wrong. I hear something coming. Wow, that's actually quite impressive. I'm amazed. So yeah, I did it lots yesterday, but undoubtedly you suspect everything will go wrong on camera, can and will go wrong on camera. So I'm actually kind of shocked at that. We have 1, 2, 3 and 4 coaches, so all 4 coaches have made it back to us, so that's even better. We shall now wait for it to come into shot on camera. So what we should hopefully see is it should pull up just here in front of us. I don't know if we're going to get to see that though on the camera. Not cool. Oh, just there you go. You can just see the nose in that very top corner of the screen. No, other hand, just there. But yeah, that's now waiting. So, is it worth open my DCC idea problem to a hive mind? I mean, I've only really dabbled with ABC as a stopping kind of thing. You know, the automation with the signal side of it is going to be a whole new minefield, but I'm sure we'll manage. I'm sure we'll figure it out between us. Might involve a home visit. Not promoting that I do that or anything, but yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out, mate. That's not a problem. So yeah, going back to the loco at hand, that's now currently sat, just waiting. What I could do, actually, ooh. Turn the camera around. Yeah, and you can see the road that's not a road going down the far side of the section. But yeah, you can see my two water boxes for my two water towers there as well. So. Who was calling me in the stream? I forgot to mention Alan Reynolds goes 6 o'clock mark. Did you get stop in? John's got an Acura Scale Deltic. Yes, I do have an Acura Scale Deltic. You can see it clearly on the screen in front of me. Mine was the non-sound version. So I've had to take the body off and install the EM1, or we call it a bass booster, speaker into it. And then what I've done is I've taken the sound chip out of the Locksound ESU Locksound chip out of my sound fitted Bachmann Deltic and installed it into this one. You ask why, when I've got an entire library and decoders and everything all access to me, I would rather do a non-sound loco. For instance, I have placed an order for the Locomotion 37, the all green 37, to replace the one that's currently sat in the siding up here. Yeah, that again will be a non-sound model, and I will add my own sound at a later date. The Bachmann Deltic sound is, admittedly, I've not heard firsthand. I haven't heard the Acura Scale Deltic sound firsthand yet. However, the price that they're doing it for on their website is quite attractive. You know, for anyone that has got the non-sound version and they want to change it to the sound one, by all means, strongly recommend popping on their website, because the price is absolutely staggering. You know, most people generally have the particular speaker for £20 up. They're doing it for £15. I think they're calling it Acura Thrash, if I remember correctly, that particular speaker, which is quite entertaining. Guess so. Yeah, and they're also doing the sound decoder to go in the model as well. But anyway, what I was saying was I've taken the Bachmann sound chip out of my Bachmann Deltic and installed it into this one. It's a sound I really, really love. So that's why I have gone for this particular sound. And of course, what I've done is I've painfully sat there and remapped refunction mapped, rejigged all the mapping, turned on all the functions, etc., etc., to be able to use this Acura Scale 1 to the full advantage. So I can turn the cab lights on. Don't know if you'll see the engine room lights, but I can turn them on as well. So everything's all on there as well. Yeah, it's not a bad angle actually. I might have to leave that camera that way round for future reference. Thank you there, Flymo. Flymo, no. I'd say catch up with Alan Reynolds in an earlier stream, John. As I forgot, I was busy. My apologies. There was trouble, Mark Hemel down. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Sounds like something went on a bit funny, but oh, sorry, right, Hemel down. You were referring to Flymo, calling for Flymo. Never mind. Yeah. So anyway, I'll go back to this, and what I'll do is I'll quickly run the loco into the platform there. I'll quickly just reduce the speed as well, because I don't want it racing off ahead of me. So what I'll do is I'll change the point in front. Points are a little bit noisy still, but they are all still working. I'll just check this one because it's been a little bit temperamental. No, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Right, so that's pulling into the platform. That's good. Signal's not working yet, as you can tell, although that is just a ratio one that I've stuck there for the time being. So yeah, eventually I'll get round to animating all of the signals. I've still got two over here, which are the, I don't know how well you can see that, hold it up to the camera. They're quite nice. I really like these dipole signals that they're doing as well. So I'll quickly skip back to camera one. I need to stop that in a second. Get a bit of a brake squeal there. So yeah, you can just see my shiny head in the bottom of the screen there, or into the side of the screen there even. So yeah, what I can do now is I can run the DMU off. So what I can do is change that point there and that point. I can go and select the DMU. This is why I've got the iPad out here, because I'm using it as my controller, because my UWT100 from TCS that I normally use is currently out on loan to New Junction. There, I've said his name 3 times. Let's see if he appears. But yeah, 1080 is available. Has he got much running time on it yet, John? I've got a fair bit under it. So yeah, I'm hoping things start to improve. The low speed of the model is particularly bad at this point. I don't know if it's because it's not set up quite yet correctly. I don't know if Acurascale's setup is different, but from a saved settings page that I have been sent, they're no different to the settings that are currently on my model. But yeah, I'll need to go and change that. 720p is available. Is that my stream or is this the Alan stream? I'm getting confused with everyone talking about different streams. I guess there's a good high-end setup, Acura Thrash. Yeah, on the Deltic. No, yeah, the Deltic 720. Well, that would be interesting to see it in HD, wouldn't it? No, I'll take some pictures and I'll post them on a bit later, Flymo. What I'll do is I'll put some on Westmoreland as well. I will leave a link in the descriptions in the chat there, so everybody can go and like the Westmoreland page and see my progress so far. I was going to run the Deltic out. So we've got some lights. Got some lights. Right, so points are set. This one's not behaving itself on ABC. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but I'm not going to on live stream. So what I shall do is I shall send that one off into the distance, keep something moving on the screen, and then at the same token, what I can actually then do is I can basically then shunt the Deltic around while that disappears off into the distance. I've actually slowed the speed of this down as well, so I might need to just turn that up a little bit more. Oh, we've got that different angle now, haven't we? There we go. As it disappears off into the distance. So the signal is currently set at yellow. Again, that needs to change because obviously the far signal down the far end isn't set up, so that one's not going to respond to things properly at the moment. All being well, is the loop going to be scenic? I haven't decided that yet. I figured I would finish the scenic of this section first, and then see where I am from that point there. I should do it really. I mean, I'm going to do a back scene along the thing just to give me a bit of interest as it disappears down the side. But the other thing I was also thinking of doing was making some hidden sidings down that end as well. So there's 3 sidings in the loop at the moment. and there's 3 sidings in the loop for basic push-pull sort of services, and once that's basically done, then I'm probably going to look at doing the MPD, which you can see on the screen in front of you. I've actually got the Westall Wagon Works elevation kit for the bank corners, the super elevation kit. So yeah, that was a kit that Chris let me take on. So yeah, it'll be interesting to do a little write up about that and see how things go from there. I will just change that back so it doesn't end up coming up the wrong way. The only other problem is I need to change that one and that one there. So I'm just setting the route for the DMU to return so I don't end up with a loco where I don't want it. Right, so let's grab the iPad, and now you can enjoy the laugh of me trying to drive an engine on camera with all of you watching. So about there should be. So all being well, if I pull forwards. No, that hasn't worked at all. Yay. Again, this is another thing that I need to work on. Stop there. Right, pull forward. As I said, it's never ever going to just work on camera, is it? Maybe I'm not pushing the train far enough back. I don't know. No, it's actually genuinely not working. There we go. Stupid thing. Never just works when you want it to, does it? So, anyway, we'll pull forward. Another hand of God operation there. Looks vulgar, doesn't it? I've just seen it back on camera. So yeah, even more fun there. So yeah, we shall just gently pull the... do you know what, let's have the sound on. Everyone wants to hear the sound. Playable horn option, so you can select the Bachmann one to basically have playable horns on. So yeah, we shall just send that up round. All being well, we haven't got a DMU that's just appeared out of nowhere. Oh, and of course you've decided to make my evening even more special by derailing. Excellent. Why? You went through there absolutely fine. Past few days you've gone through there. No problem at all. Thank you for showing me up on camera. Accurascale Deltic. Probably my fault, but never mind. Need to reset my layout. Dun 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 dun. And the DMU's not come back into shot yet, so looks like I've got time. I have no idea where the DMU is at this particular time, so yeah, this should be absolutely brilliant when it returns, or if it returns. Change my points. Unfortunately, you need to nudge the coupling a little bit because it's on the corner. Right. Of course, everything goes wrong when you're on camera. You can test this 1,000 times over when you're not on camera, but the second you go and do it on camera, everything starts going wrong. The only problem with this is now with the sound on, you can't hear what I'm saying. Right, the DMU has not returned. Look through the curtain and what do you see? It's John shoving locos across his layout. We should have a DMU appearing back onto the screen in a minute. It is in the loop section at the moment. Can't hear me over the Deltic. Yeah, well, ironically, the funny thing is I've actually turned the sound down on that because I can't hear myself think with that Deltic on. Again, the DMU. Oh, you piece of... Why? I do all this and it all just goes horribly wrong when it's on camera. So yeah, thank you for showing me up everything. So yeah, we'll cut back to that camera at the moment. We should have a DMU appearing momentarily. And what it should do is it should come across the junction and make its way back into the bay platform. Yeah, I really, do you know what, the Irish Rail A class, I really like, actually. It was interesting to see that before I actually saw the Deltics and all that sort of stuff. Because it was really an interesting sort of thing to go, oh, actually, well, if this is the level that we're going to see from the A class, then surely we're going to get something similar to this from the Deltics. So that kind of excited me a little bit to see that. So yeah, do like the A classes. Would I get one? Yeah, I might be persuaded to get one. The units themselves look really nice and really good. So yeah, Johnny is going to be screwing at the screen right now because the only way to get into the bay platform is to head down this particular section of track. So yeah, it's going the wrong way, Johnny. Don't worry, I know. There. So yeah, the bay platform does have an ABC section on the layout as well. So the loco does come to a stop on its own in that particular sense. This particular one, for some reason, is ignoring the ABC at the moment. Oh no, maybe not. Ooh, maybe not. It is actually listening to it. Okay, so maybe I'll fix the problem. Trailing car. That's all I'm going to say. And of course, the other thing is, as well, if you don't know about ABC as well, you can program constant distance, constant braking values into it, which I do. But the cool thing I really like about ESU decoders is you can... shock and horror. They're there. Don't worry. Calm down. It's all okay.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Now Echo's talking to me now. Great. So I've had Siri, Echo. Anything else? Want to just talk to me? Anyway, with the what I was saying with the ABC on the ESU, what you can do is you can program a forwards and backwards value. So, as an example, if you've got a trailing car like this one, so this is actually the drive car, and this is the trailing car here. But you can set a different value for when it's going backwards as opposed to going forwards. So it will stop sooner going backwards because obviously you need it to stop sooner with a trailing car attached to it. Is the fan function fitted to the Deltic? I saw it on the chassis that they planned for the 50. They're doing a class 50? Didn't know they were doing a class 50. But no, I mean the fan in the Deltic doesn't function. It's fitted into the body. The fan assembly is fitted up into the body. It's not functional though. It's just basically a few little bits of plastic. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll see if I can dig out the pictures of the inside. Ooh, I've got a message here from a man who has a 10,000. Ooh, that will be interesting. Right, where did I sent someone some pictures recently of the inside of that Deltic. Now, who was it? Was it Kyle? It was Kyle. There we go. Right, so this is the non-sound Accurascale Deltic. They're quite easy to get the bodies off. However, the chains are little fiddly. I shan't swear because obviously I'll get a black mark against me on YouTube. But they're a pain. They are such a pain. I've done lots of little things. I've done lots of little wiring and all sorts of stuff, and it doesn't compare to how just annoying these chains were. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll cut to my screen image, and that shows you the inside of the Deltic. So basically, what you get in the non-sound version, you get the factory-fitted Sugar Cube speaker, which is a little 15 by 11. Could have maybe pumped something up a little bit. I mean, there's plenty of space there, so why not like an 18 by 13? I mean, that's my criticism coming from a guy who fits DCC sound for a living. But there we go. You can see all the nice engine detail down the front here, which I really like. What I've actually done with my one is when I had the body off for the second time to install the crew, I actually got some black wash weathering and basically washed the detailing over a little bit more. So it just picks out the detail a little bit more when you look through the window under those lights, the engine room lights as well. So that's quite nice. Detailing there. This area here, again, I don't know if you can see it on the screen.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
Go away.
Okay.
Thank you, Siri. I don't know what's setting it off. I really don't. But yeah, anyway, so this area here, I don't know how well you can see my...
I'm happy to be here.
Does anybody know how to shut up Siri? Because really, we don't use it, so I don't even know why it's on. It's very annoying. Goodbye, turn off. There we go. For someone that didn't know how to turn off Siri, I actually found that out quite easy. Anyway, sorry, going back to this. This is the area that they intended for their Acura Thrash or EM1 or Bass Booster or whatever speaker you're calling it. But anyway, that's the area the speaker's there to go for. The plug that's just here, just by the decoder blank. I don't know how well. I'm trying to sort of move my mouse to draw your attention to it, but it might be a bit small on a smaller camera. But anyway, that plug there is for the speaker, the second speaker, to go and plug into. Take your decoder blank out, decoder goes straight in as well. In the body itself, you've got all the connections here for the lighting. The one thing I will stress is when you take the body off, make sure you mark it somehow. So what I actually did was I put a little dot in the top, a little sticky dot. Put a little sticky dot in the top there, and then put a little sticky dot there. That way it indicates to me which way the body goes back on, because I'm sure people will try and put the body back on this the wrong way round. There will be subtle detail differences, so make sure you do put your body back on the right way round. I post a picture on the Discord I think they're about sold out anyway. Yes, Flymo, they are sold out. I have been looking at 2 on eBay. However, they want over 200 quid for them, and I believe there are only 170 new anyway. So I'm not willing to pay more than what they're worth, brand new anyway. I'm not one of those people, but yep, I'm sure when one comes along, I'll quite happily partake in one. That's after I get the mountain of projects that I've got sitting around out of the way. So if I, for instance, skip back to this camera here, you can see a Jubilee in bits. You can see a Peckett, blue Peckett there. I've got the Ivet 4 in the shed there as well. It needs some DCC sound. Admittedly, the little Pug that's currently sat on the turntable, that does actually have DCC sound in. But I'm waiting for a certain somebody to produce a nice 3D printed motor assembly for it, so I can put a smaller motor in it and have the cab a bit more open, and maybe even install a firebox light, because how can you have a steam engine without a fire? Is my theory. So every single one of my sorry, that's a wrong statement actually. All of my steam engines, bar that Pug, I always do this the wrong way around, bar that Pug there, have a firebox glow in. So I'm really hoping that this particular person can produce me a nice boiler assembly. It might involve some sort of drilling or cutting of the chassis. I'm comfortable with that, perfectly fine. If I can make that look good and make that nice open cab, then I will be 110% happy. Plus the Hornby motors as a whole are really, really poor. So yeah, I'm hoping that he does come up with something really nice. So we shall wait and see. I can't believe we've been talking for about an hour now. Anyway, wrong button. That one. So what I actually got is I've actually got my number keypad, my number pad. Excuse me. I've got my number pad here set up with the various different keys that take me to all the different screens. So if you can hear something going thump, 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 that's me basically pushing buttons. Anyway, what I shall do is I think I've got another picture there. Yes, so that is the EM1 speaker, and that will basically then go into the cutout there. The wire does sort of loop through this little gap here, and then basically comes over in front of the decoder and then to there. That is the sound decoder installed there. Had to mark it with my initials so it didn't get lost in the midst of decoders that I was currently working on at the time. So yeah, don't know what that is, but anyway, we shall go back off that anyway. So yeah, that is the loop section there, as Ollie was saying. Yeah, do you know what? In actual fact, it might be quite nice to do some, like I could do some scenery in this back corner up here. Maybe along here as well, that'd be quite nice. And then it just comes round. Yeah, that might be a good idea, Ollie. I've still got to finish you see this board that's going around the back edge here? That's basically a fascia board that I've run all the way around, and I paint green. You can see it behind me here. So the idea might be to, excuse me, might be an idea to go ahead and do some scenic work to that board eventually there. Annoyingly, there is a little bit of a gap just there. Oh, I'm not Mr. Perfect when it comes to woodwork, but I do try my best to make it a little bit better than it is. Trying to sort out the coupling on this AccuScale Deltic, because it's not hinged on the bogie, it's basically sprung off the body. So as you go round the corner, the coupling doesn't follow. I'm not really sure about the design of that. I'm not even sure if you used a Hunt coupling whether or not it would pull it over actually. So maybe that's an experiment worth trying. But anyway, because all of my layouts are end to end, I need to find some sort of decent way of uncoupling. Now, I've thought about doing KDs. I have a lot of KD couplings and magnets and all that sort of stuff. I bought a job lot off someone on Facebook a long time ago. I've never got round to trying them, I've never got round to fitting them, so I can't really criticise them, but I don't really, it's just something about them I don't really like the look of. I want something that is functional, that allows me to uncouple and everything, but yeah, I can't really argue that I want something scale because I'm using tension lock couplings on a lot of things and they are just hideous by comparison. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens anyway. So anyway, going back to playing and running some trains a little bit. So yeah, we've got the Deltic ready to go out again. So what I'll do is I'll hit the sound this time round, and we can enjoy some noise together. You might not be able to hear me that well, but hey, you don't want to hear me, so that's fine. Ha ha ha. Set the route up. Oh dear. Good start. He shifted into the wrong gear. Oh no, here we go again. Oh, that's got to go. I've decided that has got to go. That little coupling thing there causing me no end of problems. I'll tell you what, while you all watch that, I'm going to try and put some pizza down my throat. Don't watch me, watch that. Ah. It's really hard to get your orientation when you're on camera. Hey, this is good, because you can really chase it around the layout, can't you? The only thing is we do need one down that far end so I can see, just for me alone, we can see what the heck's happening down there. Yeah. A little bit more speed. Ooh, just reading what you put there, Flymo, and yeah, that would be really interesting if they do it on the 37. Considering Batman did it with their 47s, it's quite interesting actually. I mean, as a comparison, I think the Accurascale Deltic's pretty similar in level of detail to the 47. I know the 47 is a bit of a boring loco by the standard of it all. But still, it's quite interesting to see that manufacturers are producing detail to a high end, which is really nice. All being well, we should hopefully have a Deltic going around the camera. You can just see the loop in the background there, actually. Just there. Oh, I actually did the point the right way there. It's in the loop. I can see on my screen here, so what you can do is you can that one there, so you can see just this area down here. You can see when it's occupying a loop there. It's coming round. That's a good sign. So yeah, what I could do is I could actually stop it in that loop and then send something around ahead of it. Admittedly, the points aren't wired in yet, so I would have to go down and change those points manually. Those points are currently dead, as in dead frog, so I'm kind of relying on Stay Alives at the moment to get things round. But it was good enough just to set it up for the live stream. So yeah, the Deltic has now left the loop. I'm happy to report. and is on its way back to us. So I will skip back to the camera. Eventually everything's going to get a little bit noisy. I should maybe angle that camera slightly up a little bit so you can see the tunnel. Let's put it up a little bit. Oh, too much. Oh, way too much. There we go. That's a good setting. There we go. You can see it come back through the tunnel. Now I need to build that section up in the corner. Hey, there's the little bell. Cool. So that has yet again made its way around the loop with, touch wood, no faults. Hey, that is a good... For an accidental sort of thing, I think I'm going to have to make some sort of camera in that corner. Because that is actually quite a good view, actually. So, yeah, this will... yeah, there we go. So it throttles down, and basically what it will do is it will come to wait at the signal in front of me till I let it back into the station. So that's pretty cool. That's worked really well. Again, this is ABC braking, so I've set ABC up. Sorry, what I'll do, I'll turn that off. So I've set ABC up on the layout, so if points are against it, I can basically hold locos in sections and stuff. So it's nothing too massively clever. It's just that the point that is currently ahead of it here, just here, is currently set the other way, and the one thing I can definitely do on this layout is, because all of my points are controlled by frog juicers, I can derail locomotives before I cut the layout out or make a trip happen. So that's my idea anyway. I mean, overall impressions, yeah, it's good. It's good find that. You can also see out my window here as well. So nice little scenic out there. It's currently blocked by Jenna's greenhouse at the moment. But yeah, that'll get sorted eventually. Yeah, so what I'll do is I will let the loco come back into the layout there. You can hear all the points changing. That's now going off. I'm just going to check this one up here because it's been a bit problematic tonight. Typical. Works fine all day yesterday, and tonight it decides to play up. And go back to the screen camera there. Interestingly, sounded like something was scraping then, but I think what I will do, I will just manually uncouple my... So some of you may have seen these before. These are my little uncoupling tools that I make. It's basically just a couple of pieces of Wills material pack. I say I make these. This particular one was made by Mr. Ron North. Thank you very much for watching, if you are watching, Ron. But yeah, so I can basically just put it under there. Let it do its bit. Pull the loco forward, and all being well, we won't have a train following it. Look at that, it works. Much more reliable than those Pico things. So yeah, we shall just pull it forward into the siding, just there, lovely. You can't quite see that siding on camera there, can you? So maybe I should just dip the camera down a little bit. Ooh. You can just about see the footbridge now. Oh. It's one of those things, you kind of either get the shot you want or you don't get the shot you want, but you know, you constantly play about with things. You'll find it all eventually. So yeah, little couplings. Ah, they work so well. Why do I leave those things? Anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll leave the Deltic alone this time. And we shall go and get... We should go and get the 37, I think. I shan't start the sound up on that. So we want that point to change, which it has. That's a good start. We want that point to change. Forward we go. I have no idea which way it is forward. Hallelujah. I've managed to go the right way. For once. So yeah, currently this particular 37 is the Bachmann one. It's one that I've heavily modified, so there is a 40 by 20 by 10 in the locomotive itself, and there is an EM2 that's been cut down to fit in the tanks underneath as well. Something I strongly don't recommend after doing this one, because all you seem to do is clean the bottom of the speaker, because it goes and finds every little shard of metal on your layout going. So I do not recommend that if anybody fancies fitting a speaker in a tank. So yeah, we will pull that forward. Oh, actually, I keep forgetting about Flymo's. We're going to call this Flymo's view now. So it didn't seem to be enough clearance. Thank you for checking, Flymo. Right, so we need to change that direction. Hey, look at this, it's all going too well. Shh, don't jinx it. Of course, I'm just going to go and check. Yes, points are set correctly. Whoa, shock and awe. This is scary stuff, people. Something's not gone right. What is... Of course, why would there be a track pin in the middle of the point, okay? Well, I don't even know why there's a track pin there, because I don't use pins. So, this is exactly what I mean about the magnet flipping anything metal up into it. So, there we go. But anyway, it's removed a track pin, which might have been causing the point that problem, actually. I do have track pins here, but I don't use them for anything, really. So yeah, let's just make sure this thing's going to couple up. Look at that. See? If it goes around the corner, it couples up. Oh, hello, wrong button. So yeah, you know, the one thing I've just noticed there as a prime example, because the coupling is on the bogie of that 37, when it goes round the corner, the coupling came over with it. So something to note there, a Cura scale maybe, because theirs floats off the body, so it doesn't turn the corner when you go around corners, so therefore you've always got to adjust your actual coupling if you're on the corner, or I will have to adjust the coupling every time I go around a corner. So never mind, something to aspire to there. But yeah, so what we'll do is, do you know what? We'll just get this loco going. And off she goes. And hopefully we won't have any phantom uncoupling now, because I do not have a coupling, an uncouple mechanism there. Oh, what we could do, actually, while that one's gone away, we should change that end, and we should bring the quick, we must go back to... wrong button. That is now known as Flymo's view. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just think that things... So that is Flymo's view. Whilst we've been doing that, I've brought the Deltic up into the platform, so what I'll do is I will park it next to the signal in front of me here. Very nice. Very good, very nice. Okay, all being well, we should have a train sat just coming to a stop next to the signal. Fantastic, that is working. So what I shall do is I shall go to number 3 and I shall release it on the turnout there. So that will get a move in. Put the sound on. Oh no, that was a bad idea. Just as it starts moving, I turn the sound on, so that's not good. I think I need to revisit that sound file. It shouldn't be starting the engine if it's moving, so that's a problem. I need to look at that particular sound file. That is... You're going to come back now next time, and I'm just going to have a little sign somewhere that says Flymo's crest or something. So yeah, we'll watch the 37 go off into the distance. After it's cleared the point, I will quickly change it back. However, what should happen is when I do the modification to the DR5013, this point will change itself automatically, so I won't have to do this. I do at the moment because it's not connected. Something I found out of a problem yesterday. So for some reason the DigiKeys unit comes with the wrong resistors fitted in it, so it only gives you a 900 milliamp cutoff, or a 0.9. Should sound like enough to me. Well, it sounds like enough to me, but everyone I seem to see in comments and sections and etc. has basically said that it's not enough, and you need to fit some resistors in there. So yeah, at some point I'll be unplugging it, voiding the warranty of my DigiKeys DR5013, just to basically put some resistors in place. What a rebel, hey? But there we go. So we will go into here, and we'll change the point back, etc. Couldn't remember if I installed something there or not. But anyway, so we're getting on to 8:30, so if you're still with me or if you've just joined me, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. You know, it's nice to... I do these kind of things as a bit more of a video diary than more than anything, but it's nice that I get an audience that participates and chats to me and asks me questions about the layout as well. So if you do have any questions about anything you see on the layout or anything I'm doing or using, or something I'm not using that you know about, you know, by all means, have a chat and let me know. I'm going to quickly scoff this bit of pizza because I'm hungry. It's interesting, Flymo. They know about this problem, and they've posted a official statement to basically say this is what you can do. But from all accounts, they don't seem to be fixing the problem. The way it was sort of explained to me was, if I was using N-Gauge and it was just the locomotive, it would be fine. But because I'm using 00 and I've got Stay Alive packs in all my locomotives, regardless whether it's a diesel or not, I still use Stay Alives. Well, let's say that, apart from that DMU there. which will be getting one, because that's proving to be unreliable at the moment. But anyway, yeah, because I use Stay Alives and some of my coaches do have lighting on board, it causes problems. It causes problems with the circuit, and it basically shuts itself down, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, oh, it's come in. Weird when you have to look at the layout. It's not that big that I have to keep looking, but anyway. Yeah, it's. I think, as you say, it's not a good show, really. I think they should rectify that personally. I'm sure they have their reasons why. I mean, the mod itself isn't too hard. It's a set of SMD resistors, and basically you can place them over the top. I can't remember the specific value at the moment. I've got in my head something like 68s. So if I get R68 surface mount things, I can then solder them on top of the existing ones, and that will give me, instead of a 900 milliamp, it will give me a 2.1 amp cutoff, which again seems a bit excessive, but this is what they recommend. So yeah, I'll be looking into that fairly soon. I didn't do it today because obviously I wanted it to work for you guys this evening. So I feel flattered that I've purposely not done something in the light of you guys watching. That sounds such a cop-out excuse for not doing something, doesn't it? But there we go. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see trains behaving, running, and doing what they should do. I've got the 94XX there, so we can run that off down into the section there. Again, Johnny will be screaming at the screen because there is another section of the layout that I do not have running the correct way round. I can't get everything right. You know, I try, but you know, this is all mainly for play value more than anything. What we could do actually is we could send the breakdown crane off into the distance. That'd be quite fun, I think. Oh, hang on a minute. We forgot about... Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button there. We forgot about Flymo's crest. That is now the official name of that section of the layout. It is called Flymo's crest. I'm going to put the cab light on actually, because I've just realised it's not on at the moment. There we are. And look at that, the ABC brings it to a lovely, lovely stop, albeit a little bit close for my liking, so I might modify that ever so slightly. I'll tell you what we could do. I'm not screaming at all, just need to make it, just need to make it a signalled move. Okay, sorry, that sounded painful to read there, sorry. Yeah, I could do, yeah. There's plenty of signals to go around, so yeah, what I'll do is I've got lots of little ground signals actually from West Hill Wagon Works. Again, freebie from them. Thank you very much, West Hill Wagon Works. Yeah, Ollie did post a nice little code for everyone to use. If they're interested, and of course everyone seems to know them for their Hunt couplings. Sorry, I'll hold that in the light there. So yeah, this is from Chris, so get hold of Chris, West Hill Wagon Works, and you can get all your lovely little bits and goodies, etc. from them. I do have an array of can't really see them there, the mileposts there, which will be dotted around the layout at some point. Yeah, but we need to go from there. Yeah, right, let's get this 37 back in the platform. Change the point there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Eric French has just Underground Eric has just messaged me about a Class 37 that he's just got. It's very nice. Kind of looks a bit like, if I remember correctly, it kind of looks like the one that's currently going around my screen at the moment. It's weird. I keep hearing something rubbing on that platform. It's not the loco. It's not the coaches hitting the side of the... No, definitely not. Plenty of clearance there. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Lovely. Right, I said we were going to go and get the breakdown crane out, didn't I? So let's go. Oh, I'm very good at hitting the wrong buttons this evening. It's been a long day. Right, so we'll leave all the diesels sat there. We shall go into the sidings. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Reverse. And away it goes. The breakdown crane off into the distance. Handy thing with this is by the time it comes back round I won't have to make any changes to the points. It should just go back in its little siding. So that'd be nice. The breakdown crane is off. Can't be the bogies. I don't think it could be the bogies, to be honest. I have no idea. I will have to investigate. There is something definitely rubbing. It must be something on the carriages is all I can think, because the locos do seem to run through there, no problems at all. Might have to talk to you about signalling, Johnny, because I'm actually sat here now pondering how the heck I can signal that particular area. So yeah, I'll have a chat. Maybe if you and Sarah and the kids come up one day or something like that, we can have a play on the layout and have a good chat about how. Not like the Indians, how, but how we would do the signalling. So yeah, it's all a bit boring now because of course that now disappears, never to be seen until it comes back. So yeah, we'll put the sound on that as well actually. Nice little bop along to it, decent sounds there. I had the, what it was, Flymo, was I had the black breakdown crane. I bought that off a friend some years ago. And I had the Hornby one, like you've got. But what happened was there was a friend of mine, actually TRS Trains actually, Kyle. He was selling this particular Bachmann one, and it was the one I wanted. So what I did was I did a little bit of a deal with him. Obviously he gets his decoders from me at work to do his smoke. Admittedly I've got to get onto the diesel side of things and see if I can get that working, but I've just been so flat out lately I've not had a chance yet. But yeah, what I will what I'll definitely try and do is yeah, so I had a chat with him and basically did a deal with him, and I got the breakdown crane out of it actually, which I'm really, really liking. The detail level of it is superb. There is a guy on Facebook that I can't keep seeing. He makes sort of RC trucks and little scoops and diggers and all sorts of stuff. And I have been talking with him recently about radio controlling it. So little battery in a carriage behind or something like that. And then basically you can use it and operate it. I think that would be so cool. I love a good breakdown crane. So yeah, just got the ping up on the screen in front of me to basically say that the 8F with the breakdown crane is now currently in the loop. So that is on its way back to us now. It's about halfway around the loop actually. You might just be able to see it creeping its way. Oh, I've gone the wrong way again. Just creeping its way past there. It's so daft because it should be like the correct way. I should point the correct way, but I don't. For some reason, it confuses me when I'm looking at myself on the camera and doing it that way. Yeah, his you've seen that channel, Flymo. Yeah, I mean the cranes and the diggers and all that sort of stuff. I think it's JP models, but they look so cool. So yeah, I'm ever so tempted to say to him, can I please have a quote from you to do this breakdown crane? It will probably cost me a small fortune. I'm very aware of that, but it would be so cool. I could do just a video of that crane. That would just be that would just be bonkers cool. That really would. Yeah, I think the 8F is making its way back to us at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with my comments. I'm looking at the screen and I can see my comments are on the screen, but what's not happening is they don't seem to be updating as frequently as the actual ones. Oh, hang on. Could that be why? No, hang on. Sorry, do excuse me a second. I'm just trying to... Here comes the 8F. It's got a great whistle on that. You might just see the firebox. There she is, glowing away beautifully. Oh, she's definitely working hard. Yeah, so the breakdown crane you see on the screen in front of you, that is a Hornby 8F with DCC sound fitted into it. Zimmo sound. That is the Batman breakdown crane. Beautiful model. As Flymo has mentioned, there was the Hornby predecessor, which again was very, very nice. But I've got to be honest, it's not a patch on the... It's definitely not a patch on the it's not a patch on the Batman one. So yeah, Flymo, if you do get an opportunity to get your hands on a Batman one, I would strongly recommend it. Very much so. The layout that I think you've mentioned in your comments, I think it was called End of Line. Yeah, you had like a couple of little hoppers and stuff, and there was some little trucks that basically manoeuvred into position and tipped, and yeah, it was from what I remember, it was a very cool layout, and they had little radio controls for the cars as well, which was really good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The Hornby one is from the toy era. Yes, it's quite old now, if I remember correctly. It's very old actually. Don't know if they've got any plans to retool it or change it or anything like that. Would be nice. This is the thing. We're in this sort of day and age now where things are only going to get better, and at the same token, we're also going to get a lot of people moaning that everything's getting too expensive. Well, if you want better models, that is what's going to happen, unfortunately. Acura Scale, how they have done the Deltics and everything at the price point they're doing them at, I don't know, but fair play to them. They've certainly made some of the bigger manufacturers squeal a little bit because things aren't going to get better if they keep doing things at that price. Right, so 94. I'm hoping it's going to clear the back of that brake van. It should clear the back of that brake van. Yeah, that will clear the back of that brake van. Cool. Good point there, Flymo. Do you know what I should do, actually? Flymo, I don't actually have a moderator on my page, apart from Ollie at Wardle Road, mainly because when we were going through things, he said, oh, if you do this, it sets me up as a moderator. So, yeah, would you like to be a moderator on my page? Don't get me wrong, I don't do streams every week. I probably will get to the point where I do once every 2 weeks on a Sunday night, but, you know, you would be greatly appreciated if you would come and be a moderator for me. Because I probably do need one as I get more popular. I don't know how popular I will get, if I'm honest, but yeah, we'll see. I get the funny feeling this is going to take some time to come back. What I might actually do, because this might be quite fun, I might run this into the station if I can be quick enough to clear the station. Now, this could be quite interesting, so bear with me. The main reason I want to run this into the station, though, is because it's got kind of a cool wagon on it. Now, this particular wagon was bought for me as a Christmas present by my mother. She found it online, and it was just like, when she sent me a picture of it, I said, please get me that. That is just brilliant. So yeah, she consequently got it for me, and it now runs on this layout. And it will only run on this layout, as for reasons I will show you why when we come back to Flymo's Crest. Right, so we need to go to recent, we need to go to the Deltic, we need to say set the Deltic even, and then we need to run forwards. Forward we go, forward we go. Oh, I'm very good at hitting the wrong buttons this evening. Oh. Oh, we can just see the engine lights there, actually. That's pretty cool. Ah, excellent. Thank you, Flymo. That's great. What I'll do is I'll quickly just go and add you as moderator. Thank you very much. I haven't changed the point. Whoops. Didn't get away with that. Trying to do too many things at once. The one thing I will say about these Deltics, though, is I am staggered about the weight of them. The weight of them is colossal. They're so heavy compared to a lot of other models I've got. Oh, that's interesting. I think I've just figured out what was scraping. This isn't going to go well. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh goodness. That's gone horribly wrong. I'm glad you didn't see that on camera. Right, so the Evening, Dungal Dad Railway. Thank you very much for watching. I'm not quite sure who you are, so I do apologise if you're someone I know. I am terrible with names, etc. But yeah, thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoy the stream and a little bit of chat that goes with it as well. We're currently just having a bit of fun running a few engines around, etc. Oh, it looks like I've got my chat sorted as well. Yes, so someone just sent me a message saying about clearing cache, or clearing the cache on the chat thing, so that seems to have worked. We'll hit that button. Yes, he's got the right button this time. This is Flymo's Crest, affectionately dubbed now. Yeah, the Accurascale Deltic, the weight of it is just, you wouldn't believe the weight of it, actually. And what's even more impressive is the fact that they've actually made the body mould so well that it works on clips. Now, some models I've picked up in the past that have been particularly heavy, the body's always managed to unclip and slide up, which is a little bit of a pain in some circumstances. So yeah, the fact that this one has clips on and it stays on even with the weight of the model is very well done. I do I'm terrible with names too. I'm Mark. Good evening, Mark. Lovely to have you in the chat. As you've probably guessed, I'm John. John JMC doesn't give it away too much, does it? But there we go. Yeah. So what have you been up to today, Mark? Have you been modelling? Have you been doing anything for fun today? I've been out at the cinema with my beloved fiancée, and we've gone to see the original Railway Children. This is all quite fun, waiting for an engine to come back. I knew that, Flymo. Bit of sweet and sour chicken. Oh, lovely. Sounds good. So we've just seen the Accurascale Deltic has pulled up to the signal and waiting. This particular signal is not in operation just yet, but it'll give you somewhat of an idea. Oh, it's going really slow, isn't it? Look at that. Speed it up a little bit. What I shall do is I shall just mute the sound. Jenny who? Oh, isn't that actually, that's Bobby, isn't it? Thinking about it, that's the name of Bobby from yeah. Oh, we need to go back to Flymo's Crest. That sounds so awful. Sorry, Flymo. So, all being well, what should happen is that should pull up at the signal. Look, no hands. Says, looks like it's not going to happen. Oh, look at that, just at the last minute. Just at the last minute. Oh, thought that wasn't going to stop then, but yeah, it does need to stop a little bit earlier for my liking, I think. So a little bit of a change will happen to that. I could do it while I'm sat here, but I know if I get too involved with stuff, then yeah. The watching the F1. Oh, no spoilers for anyone that is interested, but who actually won? No, I can't get into F1 at the moment. I don't know, just don't know what's going on with it. Mark's Crest next time. Right. Anyway, what I was actually going to show you was what I'll quickly do is Deltic's sat there waiting. I've got 37 sat at the end of the platform, so I will go and quickly move the 37 out of there. So let me just go. Hey Peter, thanks for joining us this evening. So don't worry about being late. I don't have times or anything like this, and don't worry, I don't do Gandalf either. So, you know, if you're late, I'm sure you got a reason for it. But thank you for tuning in and watching this last 5 minutes. Wow, I can't believe I've actually been talking that long actually. Since had a bad crash at the start. Oh dear, that's a shame. How did dare I say his name on live chat? But how did Lewis Hamilton fare? He's not particularly my. Yeah, I'm not overly a fan of him at the moment. I know it sounds pretty horrible, but he just doesn't seem to be doing himself any favours in the sport. But there we go. I'm sure people have different opinions. Mine's not that great of him at the moment. Just see my head sticking up there just to check which way the 37 was facing. What we shall do is that 37 shall go back. I shall park him in the head shunt. Oh dear. Third, not a fan either. So yeah, what we should do is we should just park the 37 out of the way there for the last few minutes, because what I want to finish on this evening is I want to finish on showing off a particular wagon that I think my mum actually bought me this wagon for a Christmas present, and I just think that she cannot have got that any better. So back to Flymo's press. We're just going to move the camera ever so slightly, just so you can see my ugly head. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is a really bad shot of my head, isn't it? But the main reason I want to do that is because what I want to do is I'm going to pull it forward, and this is basically going to be my finisher for the evening. This is going to be the last thing I do for the evening, so we shall just pull 9466 forward. 9466, if anybody doesn't know, has got a bit of a special place in my heart, because I did a lot of work with it when I was younger. But anyway, that is what I shall show you. Now, the layout is called Westmoreland, yeah, the fact that she managed to find that Express Dairy Company English eggs from Westmoreland Farms, just, it had to be. It just so had to be to go on this layout. So yeah, yeah. So anyway, on that note, guys, what I shall do is I shall drop a Facebook page. That's the Facebook page for Westmoreland Layout. By all means, feel free to like the page and comment on my progress. And we'll go from there. That pretty much means that I'm just about ready to wrap this up this evening. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been a really good stream. I've really enjoyed this one, actually. I've seen a lot more people in the comment section as well. I'll do the typical YouTuber thing. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, it was a heck of a spot, Flymo. I was so impressed with her when she found that for me. And when she sent me a picture of it saying, "Do you want this for Christmas?" It had to be a big resounding thumbs up. Yes, definitely. She could not have done any better there. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching so much. Really do appreciate it. Do like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so any more videos that I do like this in the evening come up on your notifications. Have a great week. Everyone have a fantastic week. I'm really looking forward to this week as well. Got lots to do at work. Got a day off on Wednesday. I can't say too much about that, but I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a super exciting day for me. I'm going to be absolutely knackered by the time I get back, I'm sure, but it's going to be well worth it. And anyway, really do appreciate it again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for joining in. Peter, by all means, thank you for joining, and take care. Johnny, thanks again. Hope you, Oliver and Darren, have all been watching, and yeah, we'll see you all very, very soon. Yeah, take care. Thanks again, Flymo. Yes, you've done very well. As I said, we've got a Flymo crest just here for your behaviour this evening. Anyway, take care again, guys. Thank